Who's the best player you've ever signed?
Probably, I would say Paulo di Canio. It was the boldest signing I ever made.
Is he as bonkers as was
He is
made
bonkers, but he's a genius.
Yeah.
He was fantastic, Gary. I used to love watching him play. I'd watched it on TV, Celtic. I'm watching Celtic play, and he's like a little kid in the playground. He's taking throw-ins. He's running around, wants to do everything, you know? And then he obviously went to Sheffield Wednesday, and we'd go to Sheffield Wednesday and he'd do things against us. I mean, I used to say, wherever he is in that final third, the nearest man, latch on to him, do not leave him until we get possession back. And I just thought he was so good. And then obviously when he pushed the referee over, Mr. Alcock, and and he became available, I remember saying to Terry Brown, the chairman at West Ham, I said, we've got to get a striker. We can't score. We were struggling. He said, yeah, Harry, we do. We need somebody for sure. So I wanted to take Paulo di Canio. I'll never forget it. He went like...
Put his head in his hands.
No, anybody but him. Anybody. I don't care who you say. Please, not di Canio. I said, he's fantastic, Terry. He'd be brilliant. The crowd would love him. Oh, please, Harry. Anyway, he backed me, to be fair. And he was a genius. But he was high maintenance.
Was he?
Oh, my God. He was a fantastic trainer. His body, he didn't drink. He ate the right foods. You'd been out,
the absolute opposite of high maintenance.
Yeah, no, but he's also, when he came, he wanted everybody else had to be, he couldn't understand. I've got Razor Ruddock, he'd knock on my door. Boss, Razor Ruddock, we are warming up this morning. He's there. Oh, last night I drank 14 pints and had 3 kebabs. You have to speak with him. Yeah, okay, Paulo, don't worry. Yeah. But, he'd come in the morning. If he'd had a bad night, I think if his missus, the spaghetti wasn't up to standard, he'd come in next day, I could hear him. He'd walk past my office and boot the door. He places shit out, this place here. And then if he's in a good mood, he'd come in, had the sunglasses on. He'd look like $1 million, lovely suit, singing Volare or something. He'd come in and he's okay today, But I used to have to hand-pick the teams. I'd put him on a team in the morning with Stuart Pearce on his team, Stevie Loman. Anyone who might boot him would be on his team. Because if anyone kicked him, it would go off. If you kicked him, he'd fight you, So I used to have to hand-pick the teams. In fact, I remember Johnny Moncur saying to me one morning, he said, that missed a goal. I said, no, it's a goal. He went, oh, okay, yes, Paulo. He said, fair enough, because he knew we had to just keep him happy. Monday to Friday, keep him happy.
Even if he hit one wide?
Yeah, hit one wide, give him a goal.
Cool. It was so coach I want to play for.
He was, because Saturday he could go out and win the game for me. If he was right, he was just that good. Yeah. And I absolutely loved him. But he was a gamble, as I say at the time, because of his history and everything else, but the fans, they loved him at West Ham. He'd be, if you asked the West Ham fans, he'd be in their all-time best team for sure.
Often are when I spoke to West Ham fans.
Yeah.
Like, I can see Bender's giving it that kind of touchline, and I'm just like, nah, he can't drag me off here. Like, surely it's 21 minutes gone, made a mistake. Like, to be fair, probably a handful of mistakes I've made in, by that point I've played, a season and a bit, thinking, I'll be all right. Nah. He's at the side like this, mate. The most flexible wrist in football, by the way. He's like that. I can't even do it, mate. His fingers touching his forearm, mate. He's just... And at that point, mate, I'll be honest, I just lost it. Yeah. And I'm literally storming off. He's like, get on the bench. And I'm effing and blinding. I'm risking it all at this point. I'm gone. Like, the head is completely gone, mate. I'm storming down. I've shanked a water bottle trying to boot it on the pitch. I'm like marching down the touchline. I've literally gone down the tunnel. I've turned round and I've called him a see you next Tuesday. I'm effing up, mate. I'm going off my nut. Preston fans are there like, wee. And I'm just, honestly, it was such a surreal moment. And I've gone down the tunnel. I'm like, man, I was gone. Like, head was good. I'm knocking stuff off the walls. Like, I'm completely gone, mate. I'm in the dressing room. Who's come in? Fab's come in. And his breaths, he's come in, right? All up in my... He's come in, right? And he's like grabbing me by the face.
Was he?
Like, calm down. Like, and I'm just like, I'm grabbing it back in his face, like, get off me. Like, I'm fine, get off me. And he's like, you need to calm down before Paulo comes in here. And I'm just shouting like, fuck Paulo, fuck Paulo. Like, I'm gone, mate. I'm on the fuck. So I call my mate, right? I'm in the dressing room. I call my mate. And he's like, what are you doing calling me? Like, should you be playing? And I'm like, turn on Sky Sports. And he's flicked it on. And he's pissing himself down the phone laughing. Like, he's like, oh my God, what's happened? And I'm like, he dragged me. He dragged me at 21 minutes. At this point, Paulo's saying to you boys, if I see Wes on that bus, I'm going to like empty him out and all this. Like, and I end up getting on the bus and I sat at the back of the bus. He's at the front of the bus. And obviously we've got the screens on in the bus. And it's come on. And at this point, I've not seen his interview. I've just, all I know is that I've been dragged and it's an embarrassing situation for me. That's all I know. And I can see him going mental and he's like, League One West. Are we crazy? 20 years old. He was going, mate, he was just hammering me. He was basically calling me shit, saying, the only reason you're playing professional football is because I gave you a chance. And I was just at the back of the bus like, I can't believe what he's saying here. But to be fair, he was one of them guys, right? If I just come off that pitch and sat in that dugout, he wouldn't have said all those things. But because I come off that pitch, went mental, effing and blinding at him, it kind of, he took offence to that, like, you're not standing up to me sort of thing. So he just went even harder, mate, and just absolutely obliterated me, by the way. So I was like, okay, fine. Gone in the next day, he's like, come in my office. So I've gone in his office, sat down, and he's smiling at me. He's smiling at me. I'm fuming, by the way. I am absolutely fuming because I've had like hundreds of messages. My Twitter's full up with League One Wes. It's embarrassing. Like I've been completely not even nationwide, by the way. Like it was bigger. I was embarrassed, right? So I'm there fuming, and he's smiling. He's like, "Oh, Wes, we have a good relationship. Some of the stuff I said got lost in translation." I'm like, Paulo, no, it didn't. No, it didn't, Paulo. I was listening. It didn't. You said everything there and you meant it. He was like, sometimes I lose my temper. You challenge me. He said, like, you can't challenge me like this. And he said, but I'm willing to, let this go past, but you need to apologize. And then I was like, well, apologize for what? And he said, you don't need to apologize to me because you embarrass me, I embarrass you, but you need to apologize to your teammates. So that's when I come in to the little shitty canteen thing. And I've gone, boys, like, obviously I'm raging, like, but my actions, you just can't do that, so I apologize. And then he makes a joke out of it. He goes, you shit your pants.
Nobody can say to me, nobody can say to me, you have been unprofessional. Nobody, even Capello, Lippi, everybody talking
Paulo,
about me, too much tough.
Come on, I've got to stop you there. I've got to take you to an instance. I was going to do it later on in the conversation. You can't talk about that and say that running to the touchline and sitting down for West Ham and refusing to play is professional.
No, but it's different.
Come on.
No, but it's different, Simon. When I decide to refuse it, you're talking about Bradford match.
I am,
but it's not against my team. You maybe think about that, but
that's not professional, is it?
No, it's professional. Obviously, it's not the best way to. No, but it was genuine because I thought. Obviously, if you look from outside and you don't know the story, say this is not professional because the crowd is there, chanting your name. Your teammates are fighting, and you for 1 minute sit in your knee, or maybe stay in your knees and say, "Take me out," but not against the manager, against my teammates or the fans. Because I thought after 3 penalties, he didn't give me 3 penalties. I thought I can cause problem to the team. Maybe this referee is capable to. Maybe at the first time I say, maybe try to send me off. So it's obvious that it's a different situation.
I'm just trying to work out from my own point of view, having been an owner for 11 years, watching one of my players do that, what my reaction would have been to it and how I would have reacted to it, because I think I would have strangled you.
Yeah, but Redknapp, Harry, good guy, fantastic manager. He understood because I was close to the touchline, you know. And he told me, Paulo, please, Paulo, come on. So carry on, Paulo. He turned his face and said, no, Gaffa. But it's not with you, the referee. I was explaining to him, you know, why. But no problem, keep going, Paulo. And then I remember after 30 seconds, I was a bit relaxed because I saw this man, the manager, that gave me a big opportunity because he brought me to West Ham. And then the people start chanting, you know, then in Paulo. This moment I thought, no, I have to stay because it's for them.
Amazing. Canio was my manager at Swindon.
Oh my God.
What was he like? He's a madman, isn't he?
He's the maddest player.
He's an example.
Just everything. I remember we mate, there's just so many stories. Like, because what I used to do, I was like a sponge. So my first year, I was in the youth team. So what I was doing is I finished training and then I'd wait for the first team to come in. Then I'll just walk down, I'll just sit there. I'll sit there and talk to like Frank and Rio. And I'll just watch Paulo, watch what he's doing. He's on a massage bed before and after training, in the ice bath, doing all the good stuff and that. And then like, it was so good with the youngsters as well, you know, to be fair. I'd have banter with him and all that sort of stuff. But when I got in the first team, mate, it was just mad. I remember one game, right? So he got injured. So he went to Italy. If Paulo got injured, you know what he's like, he does his own thing.
Yeah.
And Paulo Di Canio, and to be fair, he was the best player, but he could do what he wants. So he got injured. Glenn Roeder was the manager. So Glenn, around about that time, we signed Les Ferdinand. So it was me, Les, Paulo, and Freddie Canute. But I think Freddie was injured or something, because I think around about the time it might have been Ramadan and that, and then he picked up an injury.
Right.
So me and Les was playing. So me and Les was scoring goals, but Paulo was in Italy for like 3 months. He's
Just
injured,
fuck off,
right?
back,
Yeah. All of a sudden, Paulo's come back in. We've got Leeds. Imagine he come back on a Wednesday. We've got Leeds on a Saturday, big game. So we're just talking amongst the lads and that. And then Leslie said to me, JD, this guy thinks he's going to come and just come in the team and just play. Because that's what would normally happen. Les goes, not having it. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to go to the gaffer and tell him. So Les has gone into, knocked on Glenn Roeder's door, walked in with his boots. He said, I'm telling you now, if you start Paulo tomorrow, here's my boots, I'm done. I'm done. Me and, like, what's it? Like, because Jermaine's done well, we've done well together. No, Les, no, it's you and Jermaine up front, blah, 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 blah. I'll speak to Paulo, no problem. So I remember we come in the change rooms and, you know, remember the flip charts, the old flip charts and that, this is the team.
Yeah.
So obviously Glenn's got the team and stuff. So Paulo's sitting there. So everyone's quiet. And obviously, I don't think Glenn told him. So I'm sitting there like this and it said Defoe, Ferdinand up front. All of a sudden, Glenn stopped talking. Paulo's just got his wash bag. He stood up. He's like, the Canio don't sit on the bench. He walked out. No word of a lie. He walked out. I said, Paulo's not sitting on the bench. He walked out, gone. Didn't see him, gone. In his car,
home.
Gone. He's not sitting on the bench. I ain't sitting on the bench. I'm going home. Just walked out. Amazing. I remember I'm a young player, I'm thinking, this guy is mad.
Did he not park in Glen Roeder space one day as well?
He does what he wants. He'll park anyway, he does what he wants. Even I remember games where you come in and the manager, like, say you play shit the first half and you're losing whatever, mate, come in and say like the gaffer's standing there talking, Paulo's standing up and he's talking over the manager. And then we're like, I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, like, he's a madman, but what a player though.
Was he the best player in training by a mile?
The best player, I never took no days. When I was in the youth team, I remember we trained on the pitch over there, small training ground, say the first team's here, and then loads of times we've been on a Wednesday, because you're on the youth team, you train every day, and then we know the first team's off, but you can see someone in the distance just running on his own, Paulo, all the time. He never took days off.
No, we never had a day off in 4 months at Swindon, and every day for 4 months.
It's not good.
Would he shave his body head to toe? I'll never forget seeing his arsehole in the sink, mate, getting shaved.
Everything smooth, and everything he wears is fitted and tight, and like, mate, it was unbelievable. What a guy.
And how was he with you as a young kid?
Huh?
How was he with you as a young kid? Would he take you under his wing, or was he more interested in himself?
Nah, mate, with me, because he knew how much I love football and that, and I wanted to learn. And then when I scored a lot of goals when I trained with the first team, when that sort of stuff, made my debut, I scored. Yeah, he took me on his wing, because I remember my first Premier League goal was against Ipswich, and I come on and I scored. But what happened, I think he picked up an injury, so he was coming off, then I was going on.
That's right.
So normally for a young player, you give me the armband in my hand to give to someone. Frank was on the pitch, Trevor Sinclair, Joe, everyone was on the pitch. As he's come over, he's took it off and he's put it on me.
Skipping on your debut.
Right, my first Premier League. So he's put it on me, And I've come on, just left it on. I thought I ain't giving this to anyone. And I come on, scored, and it was like, mate, it's crazy.
Amazing.